Joe, do you remember when you were young, you had a party when you were 6 at the bowling alley? Do you remember this pin, this bowling pin? It's signed by all the people that came to your party. Touch my hand if you remember this party. Do you remember it? Remember the blue icing on the birthday cake that got all over everything? Do you remember that? You do? Do you remember how we bought 2 games and it was too long and some of the people were getting really tired? Do you remember that? Do you remember having fun? Do you remember having fun at that party? Before we put the camera on, you said you were in a kind of a bad mood today. Are you in a bad mood today? Touch my hand or tell me with your voice. Are you feeling like you're in kind of a bad mood today? Are you in a good mood? Are you in an okay mood? Do you want me to stop asking you questions? Okay. Today, welcome to Transition Tuesday with Jane and Joe. Today we're talking about get back to where I once belonged. So we started off kind of just chatting about this old birthday party relic that Joe has. And, you know, Joe is 20 and he has had some, medical things that have kind of hampered his ability to be out and about. COVID has hampered everybody's ability to be out and about. And we thought it would be kind of a good idea to go back and talk about, how do you get back into the swing of things? So inclusion is easier when a person is younger. So, when you're younger, you have play dates. When you're older, you have social experiences. 20-year-olds do not have play dates. And they don't appreciate their parents calling them play dates. And the 20-year-old people, even nonverbal people with disabilities, want to have social outings, social experiences, because that's what 20-year-olds do. But it's harder because, for one thing, it's a little harder to get Joe out of the house. When you're younger, strange behaviors, or behaviors like temper tantrums or vocalizations that are not words, those kinds of behaviors are overlooked in younger children. People tend to be more patient with younger children. If they try to talk to them, ask them a question and they don't respond, people are a little more patient with younger children because there's an intrinsic knowing that young children don't know how to be social. And people anticipate an older person, like a teenager, an adolescent, a teenager, especially if they have an invisible disability, they expect those people to be more, mature in their social experiences, but they might not be. And so that makes it harder to do social outings. Not as much as expected, social graces. If you have trouble speaking at all, saying hello in response to someone who says hello to you is tough. And I'm Joe's communication partner, so I can intervene, but what generally happens is people start talking to me, or guilty, I get involved in conversation and Joe gets put in the background. So these are some things to be thinking about when you're looking at, getting a person out in social situations. This is a fabulous book I want to share with you. It's called 101 Ways to Facilitate Making Friends: How to Engage and Deepen Support Networks for People with Disabilities. It was written by Aaron Johannes, Jim Reynolds, and Susan Stanfield, and there's a foreword by David Petoniak, who is one of my very favorite behavioral specialists in the whole world. So I'm just going to take some pieces out of this book to share with you. So one of the things they suggest is creating a relationship journal. So in that relationship journal, you put a picture of the person's name, phone number, address, email, and birthday. And then, I've got this backwards. The person that, maybe Joe has a classmate who's a friend. So you don't have to do all of this, but it's got a photo, their birthday. Isn't that a good thing to know? The relationship I share with the person is classmate. Our favorite activities together are, maybe there's a thing that they do together at school. This is how our relationship began. We met in class. What I like most about this person is they're funny. And then this is how others can support me with this relationship. So this is where mom comes in. Like, mom can help me FaceTime. A while ago during the pandemic, we used to FaceTime with one of Joe's friends, and they would watch a movie together. So we would put the movie on at the same time in our different houses with the FaceTime on, and then they would, or Zoom. I think we ended up having to do Zoom meetings because movies are long, but they could see each other on the screen, on the phone or the laptop, and they could watch the movie at the same time. And that was a pretty good fit for the time when we couldn't be together in person. So relationship journal, if you want to see a copy of this or something, reach out to us. You can email us at transition2s@gmail.com, and I will scan it and make a copy for you. Or better yet, you could get this book. Another thing, I love this. Notice people who are alone. We might think we're the loneliest person in the room, but we're usually wrong. In fact, many people are lonely, and many people are too shy to take the first step in getting to know someone new. If you see someone sitting alone, take responsibility for introducing yourself and asking if you can join them. Later on, they might tell you how much it meant to them. So this is a really good thing for Joe and I to learn how to do, to practice doing. Step one is we have to go out. We have to physically go out. Now that Joe's surgery is, 7 months behind him, he's getting out a little bit more. And I think this is the prime time for us to start connecting Joe with people in his community, learning how to do those social engagement things again. Joe has 1 year of school left. So school is a very convenient way to have social experiences for someone like Joe, but it doesn't last forever. So we need to start making plans and practicing so that Joe can have experiences, friendships, social activities after he's done with school. Transition planning. I'm not going to read this whole book to you, although it would be worth it. Have a meeting with your supporters about your friends and make a plan. So Joe's supporters would be his direct support providers or caregivers. So we could have a meeting with Joe and his people that help him during the day, not me, and we can, and me, I'll be in the meeting, but they would be part of this discussion as support people, not as mom. And we could talk about what would Joe like to do. Joe used to like bowling. Now the bowling alley that we had that party at unfortunately closed, but there are other bowling alleys close by. And maybe we could reach out to some people we haven't talked to in a while. Would you like to do that and ask them to go bowling? Would you like to meet up with some of those friends that came to your party back then and go bowling with them? Touch my hand or tell me with your voice if you think that's a good idea. Would you like to do that? Hook up with some of your old buds and go bowling? What do you think? Would you like to be out and about more? Would you like to connect with some friends? Doesn't have to be bowling. Would you like to connect with some friends? I see your smile. Do you think it's important for somebody who's 20 to have friends? Would you like to meet a young lady? Do you not want to talk about this on camera? Tell me with your voice if you don't want to talk about this on camera. Okay, we don't want to talk about this on camera, Mom. What's wrong with you? Okay, and then the other thing it says is involve family in the planning, much to his dismay. So, here are some steps for Joe. Connect with old friends. Start with people you already know. Make it easier. These are people who know you, that you know. Several years ago, we did this thing at the library, and we had some people come out, and we did like a little book review. And one of Joe's old classmates who had graduated a few years ago came, and it was so cool for them to be together again. So reconnect with old friends. I mean, who doesn't like to do that, disability or not, right? Get back out there. You know, this is a struggle. It's a struggle, but it's worth it. It is worth it. You know, what is that African proverb? It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to get somewhere, go with a group. So, prepare for the event. Prepare for the event. So, maybe figure out some things you need. Like, Joe might need an extra change of clothes. He might need a certain time of day or a certain place that we know is accessible with his wheelchair. Assemble the people who are going to be with him. Like Joe may opt for me not to be there. He may want someone else to go with him. Because it's kind of embarrassing to have your mom with you everywhere you go. So maybe he wants something like that. Give the other person an opportunity to prepare. They have to do things on their end. So prepare for the event. You don't have to do social activities every day. So you make yourself have time to prepare. Learn from your experiences. For example, you make plans to go somewhere and we find out there's no ramp to get in. Uh-oh, that's a problem. So then we had to figure out something else to do. So you learn, okay, so one thing we need to do is check ahead and see what the handicap accessibility is like. Things like that. Also learn from good experiences. If you went somewhere and you had the best time, guess what? Going back. Move mom out of the way. You know, I mean, as much as I am Joe's helper and communication partner, I'm not the only person in the world who can serve in that function. Somebody else can do it. Somebody else should do it sometimes. It's important for Joe to experience the world with other people, with not just mom buzzing around his head all the time. So I hope that these tips have been helpful to you. I hope that if you are a person watching this or you're a caregiver of a person watching this and you know somebody like Joe who has a lot of challenges but also has a lot to give the world, I hope that you will make the effort to get them out there, out in the world. Make some friends, have some valuable social experiences. It'll make your life richer, it'll make the person's life richer, and it'll make, everything better, the community as a whole. The more we're included, the better it will be. Better together, as they say. So I would love to hear if any of you do some things, go out. If any of you would like to connect with Joe and do something with Joe, virtually or in person, please email us at transition2s@gmail.com. Let's go have some fun together. See you next time.